from Cleveland's most accurate weather team. This is 19 First Alert Plus, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
All right, Chris Fry coming to you from the 19 News Digital Studios. Good Friday evening to one and all. It's time for your evening forecast, and we are talking about a First Alert weather day for this weekend as we bring in meteorologist Erica Page. Erica, good evening. So I will say today, an abundance of sunshine, albeit it was still chilly outside, but really I hope everyone enjoyed the weather today, at least the sunshine, because things are changing for the weekend. Kind of tell us what we can expect.
Yeah, so the team issued a 19 First Alert weather day yesterday because we were starting to see some signals that once again we were going to be dealing with another round of ice. Now, how this system is different than the one that we dealt with, I think it was just yesterday. It's hard to keep track of all the different systems and the days when it seems like it's just one after the other. But the difference between this one and that system we had temperatures that were warming up during the day, so it allowed a lot of that ice to melt. That's not going to happen with this one. So as we are watching for that wintry mix, meaning sleet and ice for some, snow for others, it is going to keep those slick conditions around as we go through not only tomorrow afternoon and evening, but likely into the overnight hours as well. So I do anticipate that there's going to be some travel impacts as we go through the day, unfortunately, tomorrow. Main timing, though, for actual rain and freezing rain falling or even snow is mainly going to be from that 1 p.m. window to about midnight. We may be able to nudge it closer to mid-afternoon, but I don't want to say that the kind of early afternoon hours in some spots you couldn't find a couple stray showers trying to drift through. So you'll see we have winter weather advisories in effect for everybody. You'll notice our notes there in terms of the ice accumulation up to 0.2 of an inch is possible. That's how much we essentially saw during some of the heavier bursts on Thursday. But when it comes to snowfall, which is something we really didn't have to deal with Thursday, it's really going to be more so for areas closer to the lakeshore. So you'll see up to an inch. I think lakeshore communities have a good chance of getting within that 1 to 3 inch range, but where we get a little bit of lake enhancement, certainly that can help out with snow totals, especially out across parts of our primary snow belt. This is the system right now, so it's still kind of loosely organized. We're not seeing necessarily a ton of moisture with it just yet, but it's slowly starting to inch its way closer to Ohio. It's down across Kentucky and southern Indiana, so it has some time before it makes its way our direction. So I don't anticipate, if you have still any plans this evening or early tomorrow morning, that you're really going to run into too many issues. Really, the biggest thing that we're noticing kind of weather-wise is just the increase in cloud cover, something we didn't really have much of as we went through the day today. By tomorrow afternoon, and again, I say that early to mid-afternoon time frame, western counties will start to see some of that icing possible. Notice where your temperatures are sitting. For a lot of us, it's right around that low to mid 30-degree range. So if you're in the mid 30s, it may just end up being a cold rain for you, but we can't guarantee that for every spot. So especially if you're farther to the south, say Dover, New Philly, parts of Holmes County, just know you may stay predominantly as some rain, but the problem is that temperatures have been so cold today, they're not going to rise significantly. You still may have some icing issues just because as that rain falls, it comes into contact with that cold ground temperature, and that's where you start to get some of those icing concerns. Closer to the lakeshore, you can see that more kind of sharp cutoff where we're dealing with temperatures just at or below freezing, and so that gives you a better opportunity of actually seeing more of the snowfall out of this system, but I still can't rule out a light glazing of ice all the way up to the lakeshore. I just think the higher ice amounts are going to be for places like Akron, Canton, Medina, Worcester, down towards the Mansfield area. That general zone probably stands the best chance at seeing more ice versus some of that snow. Then this system starts to clear out of here by about 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, clears out to the west, but we still have a little bit of that cold air that's funneling in on the back side of this system, and so that does open up the door to some light snow that'll stick around for us late Saturday night, headed into early Sunday, and so it may keep a few flurries around the region by the time we wake up early on Sunday. Certainly temperatures are going to be cold, so any ice that we had that moved through the area through the day on Saturday it's likely not going to melt away. I mean, road crews will probably be out trying to treat it, but the problem is once those roads are less traveled, you don't get the friction, and so everything starts to ice up once again through the overnight hours. So if you've got church, brunch plans, whatever the case may be for early Sunday, I'd budget a little bit of extra time to get where you need to be, because I still think we're going to be dealing with some slick conditions by early Sunday morning.
All right, Erica Page, stand by. We are going to hear from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
All right, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast with the double weekend, and we've got a hodgepodge of just winter weather. We thought this was over, but it seems like the continuance is ongoing.
Yeah, I can probably speak for every meteorologist in the office. We want kind of this active weather pattern to be over, probably just like everybody else does. Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like we're going to get that lucky as we go through the rest of the month of February. I just think it's going to be one of those patterns where we stay close to the jet stream, so that's just going to keep system after system after system rolling through. And you can really see that through that 10-day forecast. Certainly, we've got a lot of attention focused on Saturday with the icing potential and a little bit of that snow. It all clears out of here on Sunday. If you've got plans to watch the big game Sunday evening, no worries with any additional rain or snow or anything like that. It's just going to be cold because temperatures through the overnight are going to be dropping back into the middle teens. And a lot of that has to do with clouds starting to clear out. So I guess that's the positive in terms of your getting the work week started. We're going to bring back a little bit more of that sunshine like what we saw today, a nice dry start to the week. But then we've got a couple more systems that are rolling through Tuesday into Wednesday. Tuesday's system, I think, is mainly going to stay south, but our southern counties may get clipped by it. So it's just something we'll have to watch as data becomes a bit more apparent here over the next couple of days. But there's another system right on its heels, and that's what gives us another opportunity Wednesday into Thursday of seeing basically more widely scattered snow showers. It keeps that really cold air around as we look ahead towards Valentine's Day. If you've got Valentine's Day plans, I would say right now the forecast couldn't look better in terms of no ice, no snow. It's going to be cold, but at least you're not going to be dealing with any kind of wintry precipitation. That holds off until the weekend. It looks like we get another system in Saturday into Sunday. It may start out as a bit of a mix, kind of like what we're dealing with tomorrow, and then it just transitions over to that snow by the second half of the weekend. And it looks like that system actually could really unlock some bitterly cold temperatures for the following Monday. So like we said, I mean, it's just system after system. It's just like we can't keep that cold air bottled up to the north very well so far this winter season.
My only hope is that this continues. We go through this now, and by March and April, we're not still seeing snow or cold temperatures. We can just break free from winter's grasp, because I feel like this is, look, for all intents and purposes, this has been a very hard winter. Probably the harshest since I've been here. Never with a bunch of cold days in December into January, and then this system. Who knows what's coming up next down the pike at the end of the month.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting. If you think back to last winter, I mean, January and February were really mild. I think we even had maybe some 50 or 60 degree days last January. So, I mean, we had a really mild winter, but then we started to kind of slip back into some of the colder than average temperatures. I believe it was March and April of last year. So maybe we'll get lucky and we kind of get through all kind of the nasty weather now, and then the pattern starts to even out a little bit more. We'll see. This is kind of what those La Nina patterns, though, bring us. They bring us a lot more of that activity. We're well within one of those patterns, and so unfortunately we've been kind of reaping, I wouldn't say the benefits of it, but we've just kind of been reaping the effects of it with lots of colder temperatures and just these small opportunities for snow, it seems like every couple of days.
I've already told my wife, the lovely Mrs. Fry, that sometime during April, we are taking a beach vacation because we have to go somewhere warm. I have to dip my feet in some form of water that is not freezing. So to get through this winter, a lot of people will probably be doing that. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page with a look at your forecast. She'll have much more coming up at the top of the hour. Erica, we'll see you then.
Sounds good.
As will I. First news of the evening, 19 News at 10 o'clock on WUAB 43, and then switch over to 19 for the news at 11. I'm Chris Fry in the 19 News Digital Studios. We'll see you in about 24 minutes.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for channel 1035.